so racist, they're so racist. Holy shit. Some of that he went through was not racism. It was just some in-law.
All hail King Chris Rock. He just delivered one of the harshest comedy smackdowns ever seen on Netflix, and Meghan Markle was front and center. This wasn't lighthearted roasting, it was a public dissection, the kind where the punchlines cut like scalpels and the crowd howled at every slice. Chris went straight for her most absurd claim that she had no idea what she was stepping into with the royal family. Remember the Oprah interview? "I didn't know anything. I had no idea how racist they were." Rock pounced on it with the obvious comeback. "You didn't Google the royal family? Really? That's like saying you've never heard of pineapple on pizza." The audience erupted because—
I'm like, what the you talking about? Oprah, they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown—
because he said what everyone was thinking. It was an insult to common sense. Then he flipped her whole racism narrative upside down. Chris's take, "Of course the royals have a history with racism. They practically wrote the playbook." His line, "They're the original racists," was brutal genius because it made Meghan look clueless for pretending she didn't know. And he didn't stop there. Chris broke down her complaints one by one. Not everything she cried about was racism, he argued. Some of it was just classic in-law drama. As Chris put it, plenty of married people deal with annoying mothers-in-law. They just don't write memoirs or Netflix specials about it. Chris then dove into Meghan and Harry's biggest gotcha moment from the Oprah sit-down, the claim that someone in the royal family wondered how dark their baby's skin might be. Meghan called it racism. Rock called it something else entirely. His punchline was savage. "That's not racism. Black families ask the same question all the time." The crowd exploded because it was brutally true.
Sometimes it's just some in-law because she's complaining. I'm like, what the
True. Chris wasn't mocking the seriousness of race. He was mocking Meghan's attempt to spin ordinary curiosity into a global scandal. By pointing out that even within black households, people joke or speculate about a baby's complexion, Chris—
because even black people want to know.
demolished the couple's entire narrative in one line. He made it sound like Meghan was searching under every stone for proof of racism just so she'd have material to cry about on Oprah. It wasn't just comedy, it was a reality check dressed up as a punchline. In that moment, Chris didn't just poke fun, he exposed the flimsy foundation of their most explosive claim. Chris Rock opened the floodgates, and soon other comics piled on. Andrew Schultz didn't bother with subtlety. He gave Harry and Meghan the bluntest American reality check possible. "Prince Harry, Meghan, we don't care. America doesn't care about your drama. We never cared about royals, period. We fought a whole war so we wouldn't have to." The audience roared because he nailed the truth. Americans aren't lining up to hear royal sob stories. It was like telling someone at a party their tragic monologue is boring. The whole vibe? Pack it up. Nobody here is buying it. Then Nikki Glaser came in from another angle. She didn't just mock Meghan, she laid bare Meghan's motive. She wanted fame. She found the one man who could make her the most famous woman alive. And now she's shocked it's not all glitz and glam, like buying a house next to an airport, then acting surprised when it's noisy. Glaser saved her sharpest dagger for a what-if scenario that left the crowd in stitches. If she hadn't married Harry, she'd be on The Bachelor right now. Meghan M. from Sherman Oaks sipping Chardonnay in a hot tub trying to get a rose. That line killed because it painted her as just another Hollywood hopeful, not a duchess, just another contestant fighting for screen time. It wasn't just stand-up comics who smelled blood. The animated world jumped in, shredding Harry and Meghan with savage precision. HBO's The Prince cartoon zeroed in on their money fantasies, mocking the idea they could walk away from the monarchy yet still expect billionaire status. "We'll just figure out how to make $50 billion by ourselves, Harry." It was a gut punch because it captured how wildly detached they are from financial reality, expecting royal-level wealth without the royal duties. The show didn't stop there. It portrayed Meghan as so desperate for attention that she'd sink to reality TV levels just to keep cameras on her. The parody headline, "Meghan Markle joins the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills." From Duchess to Bravo cast member, that fall from grace practically wrote itself. But the puppets of Britain's spitting image were even more merciless. They portrayed Harry as a man with zero skills, bragging about a podcast career despite admitting, "I don't really have any talent." The sketch skewered him as lazy, entitled, and utterly dependent on others. One gag had his butler doing 10K runs for him because Harry can't even be bothered to break a sweat. And of course, they roasted his obsession with clinging to royal rank. "Every morning, I check to see if I'm still fifth in line to the throne." It was the comedic equivalent of quitting your job but calling HR every day to see if you got promoted. The puppets also torched their Netflix payout, branding it nothing more than cashing in on royal gossip, royal welfare checks with better PR. It wasn't just professionals piling on. Internet creators turned Meghan into endless meme material, roasting her every move. One viral moment came from her Netflix series, when she awkwardly corrected Mindy Kaling for calling her Meghan Markle. Actually, it's the Duchess of Sussex now. The exchange was so cringe, it practically begged to be parodied. Creators ran wild with it. "Say Meghan Markle again, Mindy. I dare you." Remixes turned her obsession with titles into a running gag. The Duchess so insecure she polices her own name. The comedy didn't stop there. TikTokers mocked her lifestyle content too, skewering how she makes the simplest things sound profound. One parody had her preparing water for guests. "This is spring water from my backyard. Add a petal or two. Whatever you do, don't use tap." It was hilarious because it revealed how she dresses up ordinary tasks with fake elegance, like she's reinventing H2O. Even flower arranging wasn't safe. Jokes compared her creative storytelling with flowers to her real-life habit of cutting ties with family. Dark humor, but effective, portraying her as someone who prunes relatives as easily as she trims stems. Then Saturday Night Live took its shot. The show highlighted the never-ending sibling rivalry between Harry and William.
Name is Meghan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy Kaling.
Roasting them for acting like squabbling teenagers at formal events. William fired back with the sharpest burn at Meghan's career. "My brother's fiancé stars in Suits. The only difference between that show and this one, people actually watch this." SNL doubled down, joking Suits was so dull it could put children to sleep faster than bedtime stories. It was comedy genius because it cut straight to the truth. Meghan's acting resume wasn't impressive, it was forgettable. When South Park entered the ring, the roast reached another level. The episode didn't just poke fun, it obliterated Harry and Meghan's biggest contradiction, demanding privacy while chasing the spotlight harder than anyone. The writers nailed it with their parody of Harry whining, "We just want to be normal people. This attention is unbearable," while Meghan strutted through magazine shoots and her own TV projects. The punchline was obvious. You can't beg the world to leave you alone while staging photo ops every other week. They also lampooned Harry's memoir, framing him as the most privileged man alive, complaining about his struggles. The parody interviewer summed it up, "So you've lived in palaces, had everything handed to you, and now you're writing about how hard life was?" It was satire, but it felt like truth disguised as comedy. And then came the knockout. South Park exposed their endless house hopping as nothing but PR moves. "This place is so quiet, darling. If we live here, people will believe we're serious about being normal." That one line stripped away the illusion. It's not about living privately, it's about looking like you want to. Finally, Family Guy dropped the closing hammer. In one quick gag, the show painted their entire post-royal brand as a grift. Netflix millions for nothing, Instagram ads for fast food chains, and a constant victim card tucked in their back pocket. The verdict was unanimous. From stand-up stages to animated sitcoms, Harry and Meghan had become comedy's favorite punchline.